What's going on, guys? I'm IcyRhythms. Welcome back. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the Epic Store and buying World War Z on the Epic Store. It really doesn't matter if it had been World War Z or if I'd have waited for that to hit Steam and maybe bought Borderlands 3 on the Epic Store instead. I always say, do what you want, buy what you want. Forget about everything that you know. And if you really want to play something, if you feel like it's really worthwhile and really going to be worth your time, then go ahead and buy whatever that product is. In this case, I didn't really want to wait for World War Z. I've been excited for the game for a long time. It is a good game. This isn't really going to be, much of an impressions thing or about World War Z, but what I will say about World War Z, and it has nothing to do with the Epic Store, is right now it's a lot of fun. It's really fun with friends or even randoms that know what they're doing on some of the higher difficulties, but the game needs more content, and I'm just keeping it real. I told this to the developers themselves, and they actually responded, and I said, there's not really much of a relationship. There's no really good back and forth banter between the characters or anything. Left 4 Dead has that in spades, and that's just the fact of the matter. Left 4 Dead has some other things too, but visually speaking and, just the overall gore factor and everything, it's still really good. The gameplay is fun. The gameplay is solid. When it works well, it's really fun. And I think they've done a really good job with that. But, buying from the Epic Store is, right now in the PC community, for a lot of people, it's a big no-no. It's definitely a thing where people are like, I know some people that like me and enjoy my content are probably like, shame on you, Icy. I like you. I like your content, but shame on you. Well, I wanted the game and I wasn't going to wait for it. I mean, normally my patience is, better than most. I would like to think. I did wait, what was that, like a year and a half for GTA 5. I'll tell you right now, if Red Dead Redemption was on the Epic Store tomorrow and it was super well optimized and ran extremely well, I would probably buy it. I think a lot of people probably would. I think you'd have a lot of people that are saying now they're not going to buy from the Epic Store that would give in, because I think with a game like that, there is no guarantee that Rockstar would move that over to Steam at some point. It seems likely. It doesn't really make sense for them to miss out on, the entire user base of Steam. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's really just about the deals that Epic and, developers and publishers have in place with each other. So it's something that we need to keep in mind as well. Again, the Epic Store or buying from the Epic Store, just saying the Epic Store, it's like saying a dirty word for PC gamers these days. And I understand that. I think in the case of World War Z and me just wanting to play this game or Borderlands 3 when it comes out, I don't feel, first of all, it's my money. So even if someone wants to feel like, I see, I like you, but, shame on you, it's really not their concern. It's not their business in the grand scheme of things. Technically, I guess I sort of make it your business by making these videos, but it is my money, and I'm not gonna go and destroy someone for buying something on the Epic Store. It is, like I said, it does have its pros and cons, and you have to think about everything before you do that. And I know that the store itself, outside of the Bethesda launcher, is probably the worst store. They have one of the worst setups that I've ever seen, and they've had years. People are making it seem like the Epic Store just launched like 6 months ago or a year ago. I mean, this thing's been around for quite some time, and they haven't really made tons and tons of improvements. You would think at this point they would have done a lot more to improve their store, to improve their feature set, and I think for a lot of people, that's a big thing. I mean, we've all seen that list, that side-by-side comparison, Steam versus the Epic Store, and some people will be like, oh, give it time, give it time. Again, you guys are pretending like the Epic Store just came out. That is not the case. Stop saying give it time. Steam didn't just happen overnight. Yes, we know that, but I mean, can't you see everything that Steam is doing, that Origin is doing, and Uplay is doing, and just implement all of that from the jump? Why even have a store if you don't have at least everything that your competitors are doing in place from the jump? You need to be doing all of that and then some, in my opinion. But people saying that Epic Store, they need a search bar. What do they have, like 17 games or something? What do they need a search bar for at this point? I mean, I guess as the games stack up, that will change, but I don't really know if they need much of a search bar at this point. What are you going to search for? I mean, you know what they have. They have Fortnite, and they continue to do super dirty business and buy up exclusives, which is, you know, we all have our opinions on that. I have mine, and I feel like while it is dirty business and not the way I would like to see things go down for the PC as a platform, I still want to play some of the games. And as long as they're great games and they run well, take Borderlands 3, for example. If that's a good game, if that's running extremely well, I'm not going to wait for the Steam version. I'm just going to get it. I'll probably get the Steam version as well, as long as there's no issues with that. I have no problem giving Gearbox even more money. I do think, again, some of the business moves are shady, and I'm not denying that. I'm not trying to pretend like it's not a thing, but I just feel on PC, and unless it's incidental, unless it's just something that can't be helped and games just don't make sense to put on a console or a handheld, I just don't really feel like having exclusives on PC is part of the selling point for me. That's not what I want to see. I feel like, you know, the most consumer-friendly thing that could happen with most of these games is to put them on the Epic Store or Steam and GOG day and date. I understand why that doesn't happen. I understand why a publisher wouldn't want that for their game. I mean, DRM free. The moment you have that game and download it, you can just sort of share that with anyone that you want. I mean, I can see how that would be a problem, and the piracy would probably just be through the roof with tons of, especially like the AAA stuff. So that's something that I'm sure is taken into consideration as to why they don't put a lot of stuff on GOG. Let's try and keep in mind as I close out this video that nobody forced my hand. Nobody made me do this. It was a decision I made all by myself. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was getting myself into. It's my own patience that I'm disappointed in. I do feel a little dirty, and it's less about the Epic Store for me and more about the pride and just not having the patience to wait it out for some of these games. I mean, as long as they're running well and playing well, I just want to play them, you know, and at the end of the day, that's how I feel. A lot of you guys feel differently, and I respect that. Those of you that I watch on YouTube, my fellow content creators, whether I like you, I dislike you, I don't watch your content at all, whatever it is, I respect all of the opinions on this matter, because it's something that we need to be talking about, and I'm sure we'll continue to talk about, because I don't think Steam is going to budge on their cut. And I know Tim Sweeney is all like, if they budge on what they're giving as far as their cut, then we'll stop buying up these exclusives, minus what we've already done. So he's basically telling you that there's probably other exclusives that they've already made deals for on the way, and they can't talk about them yet. They can't show them to you. So, I mean, they've already probably locked up another 3 or 4 really big games if I was a betting man. So you're not going to be playing a lot of big games maybe this year and possibly even next year on Steam right away. And some of you will continue to hold out and have that patience, and you have more than I do at this point. You have more than I do, and I respect that. Maybe for something else that's not as big of a deal to me, that I have a little interest in, not tons of interest, I'll be able to wait it out. But I just, I don't think it's going to happen with Borderlands 3. It didn't happen with World War Z. I have no reason to believe that my patience will be strong for Borderlands 3 or something like Red Dead Redemption. So that's my video. That's my take. I do feel a little bit dirty, but I want to play what I want to play. You guys sound off in the comment section. Thank you for watching. You guys have a good one. Peace.